All right, I'm having a little bit of an issue with this machine that I gotta fix. When you swing to the right and then you let go of the stick, it comes to a stop. Like, you know, the brake goes on or whatever, it stops. When you swing to the left and then you let go of the stick, it just kind of keeps drifting and comes to a slow stop. So I've been asking some people online. They're telling me it's probably the one of the relief valves or something in the swing motor, which I think is going to be down. I think it's right here. I remember seeing it. So I guess I got to get in there and see if I can identify the relief valves and figure out what's going on with it. Let me try to show you what it's doing and demonstrate the issue. All right, so this is the issue here. When I swing right and I stop, it comes to a stop. When I go left, well, also it takes a little bit to get going left, but when you go, it just kind of drifts. So there's right. See how right stops? That's stop to the right, but to the left, it takes a second to get going, and then, so it just kind of keeps going. It doesn't put on the brake or whatever, and it's kind of annoying because if you're working where you're swinging to the left and you're coming up on something that you need to stop before you hit it, and you let go, especially if you have something heavy, it just keeps going. So it's kind of dangerous. So I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. That one in there real good. The threads are deformed. Hot too. Whoo! I'm just gonna unplug this wiring harness. There we go. This goes with the canopy. That yellow thing, that's the swing motor. All right, so between picking up that access cover there and taking this off, which I'm about to do, I think I should be able to get to that. All right, well, my new panel doesn't, it doesn't open the best, but, well, maybe I gotta take this off first. Yeah, that's how I designed it. I did that on purpose. Yeah, that's a safety feature. You have to take off the back before this front will open. Stop. Alright, that's it right there. This big yellow thing with these hoses going in the back of it, that's the swing motor. Alright, so evidently there are some relief valves on this thing. And got to get in there and see if we can figure out which one of them is bad. Looks like there's some pilot hoses going to it as well. All right, let me try to, I'm gonna jack this up a little bit so I can get better access, I think. There, and that's a little better.
He's a happy boy. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think, huh? Huh? What's wrong with this thing? You're not any help. I know. It's good, Bubby. All right, so I've been messing around with this thing. A lot of stuff I've done, I did off camera because it's just kind of getting a little repetitive here. So the first thing I did, I switched the relief valves. So I flip-flopped them and nothing changed. So that tells me it's not the relief valve. So I know there was a lot of people online and everything were saying relief valves, it had to be one of those, but it wasn't, because I switched it, and if it was a relief valve, it would switch from left to right if I switched the relief valve. So it wasn't that. So then the next thing I did, I switched the two supply lines, the two inputs that go to the swing motor. I switched the left and the right. So what happened then was the problem switched sides. So instead of it, doing it to the left, it did it to the right. Exact same thing. So at that point, I'm pretty much sure it's not the swing motor. So now I'm kind of down here looking at this valve here. So the swing valve is this one here. It's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 4 in from the end. And there's a spool in there that shifts back and forth. So that kind of makes me think that this spool down here is either not opening all the way, which is causing the pressure to build slowly because it doesn't have enough flow, or it's getting stuck somewhere. There are 2 springs, one on each side. I mean, the spring could be bad and not pushing it back to center. I guess the next thing to do will be to take this apart. Maybe if I swap the springs from one side to the other and anything changes, that might give me an indication that it's one of the springs. All right. Ah, come on. Ah, there it is. Ah, dang it. All right, well, there's the spring. All right, that's one side. This little thing that goes in there. All right, we'll save that for a second. It's not like it's stuck or anything. That's what kind of makes me wonder. I mean, if it was stuck, it'd be one thing. But it just kind of comes out. So there it is right there. I mean, I don't see anything, but let me take it over to the workbench and we'll clean it up. All right, I also need to take the spring out of the other side. That one's a bit harder to get to. There it is. All right, there's the bottom screw. Oh, there's okay, top one. Oh, there it is. Pretty sure the washer fell out the bottom. All right, so I've got the spool, springs. That one was that way. This one was this way. And then these go on the ends like that. Okay. That doesn't go that way. All right. All right, what about these springs? I mean, they seem, I don't see anything wrong with them. That one's springy. And so is that one. I mean, I know that's not a scientific test, but they are springy. These are clear. No issues there. These things look fine. They sit behind back here, and I guess as the pilot oil comes in here, it slams into this thing, pushes it, and you can see it eventually makes contact with the spool and pushes the spool. Sits right like that. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. All right, so 13 millimeters would put me where? 44.1. Okay, yeah, these are coming out to 44.74 millimeters. And the service manual says swing, it's number 10. And it says for number 10, 18 springs, free length, 13 millimeters, half an inch. That is way longer than half an inch. I mean, there's my hand. There's no way. I mean, this is like almost 2 inches. So I guess the service manual's wrong about that. It's not surprising. It's wrong about just about everything. I mean, there's some good information, but, you know, probably 20% of it is just flat out wrong. 44.62 and 44.5. So this one's a little bit shorter. I mean, that can't matter that much. There we go. Alright, I put them in some brake clean. Alright, I'll let that clean up for a bit. Alright, this stuff has been cleaned with brake clean. Everything except for the O-rings. Pretty sure that's bad for them. And man, this stuff, I've got it clean to the point where it's like, I mean, you could eat off of it. So I'm planning to just clean it up, put it back in, and I mean, all of the symptoms are pointing to that spool not opening and closing correctly. So I'm just hoping maybe there was something, a little piece of debris in there that maybe dumped out when I took the spool out. And man, hopefully this fixes it. These springs are also within spec. Apparently they can be a little bit longer than the spec, but you just don't want them shorter. So both of these are either meet or exceed that spec. I think it's like 45 centimeters or 44.6 or something, I don't know. The service manual's wrong about it. You have to look on the I guess the parts manual to get the correct information. Alright, there's that one. Alright, I'm gonna give this thing the final test. I'm fully expecting it not to work still. I'm not confident in just cleaning that thing, that spool, but I don't know what else to do at this point. So I'm gonna start it up, let it idle for a few minutes, get all the fluid running back through it, and we'll give it a test and see what happens when we swing left. Exact thing, but to the right now. And the only thing I did was take that apart. The only thing I can think of is there were those two springs. They were both in spec, so after that I didn't really pay attention to them, but they could have gotten swapped. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. It's something in there. I think the left swing spool is on the inside and the right is on the outside. That's if the service manual is correct. It's not, it hasn't been correct about much, but so I'm thinking this spring out here is the bad one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch them one more time. Now these springs are like 75 bucks a piece. That's why I'm not just throwing a new spring in there, but I'm gonna switch this one more time. I'm getting real good at it now, so it shouldn't take that long. And if it switches sides again, it's for sure that spring. right, let's give it a shot. All right, I switched the springs and it did not switch back. So it's still, the issue's now on the right-hand side. So I am out of ideas at the moment. All right, it has occurred to me that this housing here is the only other thing that could have gotten swapped. I mean, other than like these things, but I don't think it's them. So I'm gonna look, because when I got this thing back from the hydraulic shop, the reason it wouldn't swing one way was because the little orifice, the little hole inside there, was plugged. So I'm gonna take this apart and make sure it's perfectly clean, because I didn't do that before, and now that I think about it, these things, this could have been the one that was on the inside of the machine, and yeah, I should have paid attention, but I didn't, so here we are. I mean, I can see through it. I see light coming through, but maybe it's just plugged a little bit. Well, maybe it's just plugged a little bit. And I think when you're dealing with hydraulics, a little bit is all it takes. All right, so it's not that. That thing is not the issue. I think it may be this thing. See, there's a little tiny hole on that side. I mean, there's a big larger hole on that side, but I guess that's to control the flow. But I'm gonna run something through there and see if I can clear that out. Maybe. I can't tell if there's anything in there or not. No, it doesn't look like there's anything in there, but I'll clean it out just in case. See, so now I got it so that the wire goes all the way through. I mean, it's open. I don't know if it's as open as it should be. I mean, it should be fine, I think. Definitely air going through there. All right. I just figured it was worth a shot, so let's put it back together. All right, check this out. I'm back. I've taken it back apart again. But on the side, so this is on the inside, so this is going to the right, pushing it to the right. The other one, I just cleaned out the one on the other side, and that one just went boom and shot right through. There's definitely some, see, that's all the way right there. There's definitely some resistance in there, so I'm gonna try to clean out this little hole, this fitting and this little hole better. Maybe it could be something inside there too, but let me check this out. All right, so it's gonna be that thing, not this. Yeah, this has got a big hole in there, and then this fitting here, it only has this little pinhole, and it's the other side there, but I'm thinking there's something in there. That thing was clogged. It had resistance, something just pushed through there. This is my problem the whole time. Another plugged orifice. What do they call that? I think there's like, I probably need to just get a new fitting. I think there's corrosion and stuff down in there. I bet you this is why it switched sides too, because I must have switched these fittings. It's better. Maybe not. All right, that's clear. It's a perfectly round hole at the end, and there's, as far as I can tell, there's no more debris inside there. It's definitely moving through there a little easier. Let's put this thing back in and see if that was it. I got it. Left and right. I got it finally. It was that little hole. Woo. Quick now. All right, that's fixed. Now I just gotta put all of it back together. All right, over here on this side, there's this little compartment here, and I don't know what it's for, but all it does is hold water. So I'm gonna see if I can, I don't know if a drill's gonna fit in there, but maybe I can drill a hole in the bottom that'll let that water out, because it just keeps filling up. I guess it's not watertight enough up here. I guess it's supposed to be, but it's, you know, this one's too twisted out of shape. But yeah, I don't want that water in there, so I'm gonna get that out of there and then try to drill a hole. Whoa. That was very easy to go through. All right, that should help. I mean, yeah, just put a hole down there at the bottom. All right. All right, that is about it for this machine. It's in good running condition now. Everything works, so looking forward to actually using it instead of working on it. So I've been doing a lot of that. Well, there it is, right in with the rest of the fleet here. I'm sure there'll be more videos as stuff breaks and I have to fix it or whatever, but for now, I think that's going to be it. Don't pee on that, I just painted it. What do you think, Sheppy? That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Yeah. That's a good boy, Sheppy. Yeah. Got Shep and Gino. My two unhelpful helpers. Y'all are more interested in the ball than playing. What you think, buddy? Yeah, that's a good boy. All right, I think we'll leave the video there. Thanks for watching.